This is one of the most important, if not the most important concept that I've learned for me as a parent and also as a human being. Needs and resentment, and understanding the importance of both in any relationship. But intro first, content next. See you in a bit. Guys, I am pumped. Pump it up. That was kind of like a dad joke. But I'm about to talk about some groundbreaking, important information, resentment and needs. But before that, let me tell you about my channel. All right, it composed of 4 different components: relationships, single dad, that's who I am, that's what I'm proud of being, and that's who I am, and personal growth and attachment theory. Now, this content's more focused on the personal growth, but it could actually mingle in with attachment theory. To be honest with you, I want everything kind of to mingle in attachment theory because attachment theory is amazing. But resentment and needs, like this was a game changer. 100% understanding yourself and understanding other people. I never understood was, oh, work on yourself, work on yourself. Now I understand what they were trying to say. Like, you really need to understand how to meet your needs, which by doing that will produce ways of not causing resentment for people and situations down the road. But let's break it down. Resentment and needs. I'm gonna start off with resentment. Now, resentment builds up whenever needs are not being met, right? And so what happens is your consciously are trying to do things, but when your needs are not being met in your conscious mind, your subconscious auto activates and starts to get needs met in probably the easy way, but it's probably not the best way. Now, subconscious, I spoke a little bit in the 3 fundamentals, which was my first video. Please check it out, but please be nice because it was my first video. I've gotten a little bit better since then, but it really talked about how your conscious is what is in your immediate, and then your subconscious is what produces the habits that auto activate when you need to. And so in your conscious mind only obtains and processes information from 50 to 200 bits per second, compared to your subconscious, which is 20 million beats per second. So a lot of times we think that we're conscious, like in our conscious mind, really making these decisions, but really and truly it's your subconscious doing things in situations that's probably not the best for you. So resentment is key, and reason why I did resentment, because I'm gonna use resentment in a lot of different videos, so I need to at least break this down so people can go back and look at this and understand it fundamentally. Now, needs. Now, needs are what we look for to make us feel satisfied in life, and that's depends on a lot of different factors. It can be negative situations that produce a certain need and it needs to be higher, or positive reinforcement might make something be higher, or you might have things that protected you and was strengths. And so different combinations will change the order, and depending on if certain needs are being met at that time, it'll actually lower on the totem pole because it's already been met. But I really want to break that down a little bit further. So Tony Robbins he kind of coined the term the 6 basic human needs. And those 6 basic human, and Tony Robbins is a beast out there, and you can look him up. He's one of the best public speakers out there. But let's break down these 6 basic fundamental needs. Let's do this. So certainty. Sure that you can be avoiding pain and going towards pleasure, like safety, security. Those things are all things that are going towards pleasure and away from pain. And uncertainty, or I like to call it novelty, the need for the unknown and change, new stimuli. Significance, which is number 3, feeling unique, important, special, and needed. And number 4, connection and love, a strong feeling of closeness, union, and with someone or something. Growth, an expansion of capacity, capability, or understanding. And number 6, contribution, a sense of service, focus on helping, giving to, and supporting others. So these are the 6 basic human needs, and we need to find ways to fill it. But what's difficult about it is these needs are very arbitrary, broad. Like, what is certainty? What is uncertainty? What is significance and contribution? What's the difference? And so, Thais Gibson, person that was really good about attachment theory, she said that you got to think about the basic human needs as a river. And to keep that river afloat to function the way it needs to, you have streams that feed into that river to keep the water where it needs to be. And so the river, again, is the basic human needs, those 6 of them. And then you have the streams, which are going to be called personality needs. And so you can have personalities feed in multiple needs. Let's say, for example, getting dressed and going out, hanging out with friends, getting attention. That can be feeding the significance portion, but also the love and connection portion. Or going on vacations, that can feed a lot of different things. Uncertainty, certainty if you go with somebody else. You can get growth if you're learning something at the time. So personality needs really feed into different ways, just like growth, like in this channel, coming here, learning from me, learning from the situations. Those things can help the growth perspective. So everybody's situation is different. Everybody has different personality needs, but most people stick to one. But you have to realize there's multiple different personality needs that can feed it. But once you're more cognizant of it, now you can start to really control your own life, not let your subconscious come in. Another thing you got to make sure with these needs is making sure that you be able to feed those needs and fill those needs on your own. Now, you don't have to, but you should be capable of doing it, because if you're not capable of filling these needs on your own, you're going to start to actually depend on somebody else to fill those needs, and now your life is in the hands of somebody else. Now, it's okay to have somebody else augment, and they can help fill those needs quicker and fill those cups faster, which is great. But again, I want to make sure I stress you really should work on yourself to do those things. And people would say, work on yourself. I didn't understand what it meant. It was find ways to make sure you can get your needs met on your own before you start adding another person into that equation. And if you already have somebody in that equation, find ways you can do that on your own, and also how to do it healthily in interdependence, and not something that's alone or codependent, but a way that you can work healthily together to build those needs. Now, when you think about these needs in general, how do we fill these needs? And it can change in different ways, and we want to make sure we're doing it from our conscious mind, from our mind that's actually thinking. Again, that only holds 50 to 200 beats per second, instead of having our subconscious auto-activate when needs are not getting met, and now just running your life and you don't realize it. So you look at, let's say, love and connection. Love and connection, you go out with your friends, you hang out with your family, hang out with your loved ones. That's a good way to fill that cup adequately. But a lot of times, if you're not going to be able to fill that adequately, you're going to sit there and watch TV, which is a big one people do. And by watching TV, you're trying to live through the characters' eyes and their situations. And sometimes that's what you're trying to do. Now, again, everything's in balance. But if you're lacking that need for love and connection, then you're going to be watching TV. And what happens with that is that doesn't really fill that cup at the level you want it to. And what happens is now you're watching TV all day, all weekend, all week, and you start to feel worse. Because what's happening is you're continuing trying to fill a cup that you need in an adequate way over multiple days. And you don't realize what's going on is you're neglecting all the rest of your needs that you need. And you just feel off. That's why sometimes just turn the TV off and going out. But now that you know these needs, you can start to check, okay, is it significance? Is it growth that I'm missing? What am I missing? And start to work on those and find healthy ways to get those things filled adequately and go forward. And it doesn't even you have to do those things. You just have to plan that those things will happen in the near future. For example, love and connection. Oh, I'm gonna go hang out with friends on Friday. All right, say it's Monday. You don't have to think about when you're going to get love and connection now. You know exactly when you'll get an adequate amount of love and connection. Now you can start focusing on the other needs. Anything with vacations. That's when people have vacations planned 6 months in advance. They're happy. They're planning and all stuff. Now I have to worry about that, because again, vacations and trips actually feel a lot of those cups and those buckets and those needs. Okay, so that was really the needs, and understanding the needs perspective. And please let me know if that did make any sense, because I'll make another video to really break it down further. But or just listen to it again and try to break it down. But this example may help, right? How does resentment come out of needs not being met? Let's say significance. Let's say a girl normally, before they meet a man or meet a person, they go out, hang out with their friends, get dressed, and do all those things. So they're getting significance filled at a higher level. But say they get in a relationship, and then the boyfriend's like, you can't go out anymore. And now they don't go out, and now they just feel off. And they feel unhappy, and they start to, what's happening is your needs are not getting met in your conscious mind. And so your subconscious is saying, okay, something is stopping me from getting what I need. You are the person that's not getting what I need. The boyfriend, you're the evil. And they start to pick on certain things and fight on certain things, because what happens, your subconscious is trying to get back into a way to fill that need of significance, because maybe they're not getting enough of it at home. See how that can happen, and then it's like, sabotage relationships and situations and friendships. Understanding if a need's not getting met within a new relationship or in a new world, is two ways you can do it. Leave the situation, or find another need.
Daddy, my eyeball hurts. My eyeball hurts.
What's wrong with your eyeball?
You have to. This okay?
It's okay. It's okay. You're all right. Okay, can I finish my call, please?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. All right. All right, Zara, can you please get up? Zara, please get up. Please. Close the door, please. Softly. Softly. And that's daughters. So, what was I thinking about? I think I was saying that you have to understand that there's two ways you can do this. This is where I was going. You have two ways of how this can work. You can either leave the situation, or you can find another need or another personality need that will fill in the need that you want. For example, love and connection. Let's say the significance part, but you're not getting the significance in what it is, and the situation is not really working with that individual. Then you can find about significance about doing other things, or going out doing charity, and it may not work. You may need to go out. But then if that's the case, then if he's upset about you not going, he has a need missing too. He's like, okay, security, maybe under certainty. If you go out and people are trying to sleep with you and give you drinks and try to talk to you, and they may be better than the person that at his home, or quote unquote has more than the person at home, they might have a certainty need that needs to be met. And so maybe you can still go out, but find ways of making that person feel secure. But like, hey, you know what, I'll send you a picture every hour and what's going on, or I'll send you a text it doesn't have to be that way, but find a way to reduce that fear and feel that need of security in that man. And a side note, think about that situation in general going out. Let's say the tables were flipped, all right? The woman's at home and the guy goes out. And when the guy goes out, every girl around is trying to sleep with them. Every girl is trying to get him drunk and get him tipsy. Everyone is trying to go out and touch them and try to replace you at home. And you should be like, ooh, I don't know if I want that. That's a very similar life to like an athlete or a superstar. And most women don't want to have that because they don't have to fight with that competition. And so when you think about that, it's kind of a double standard. You wouldn't want your boyfriend to do it, but you feel like it's okay for you to do it. Now, again, that's a side note just to make you aware of what's going on. Not saying you shouldn't go out, but just understand where the other side's coming from and try to find a way to meet in the middle. Everything's about communication. Everything is about communication. So that's just an example, but needs and resentment is important, because resentment is going to be used throughout my channel, because it's so important to understand. To prevent resentment, you have to understand about your needs, and your decisions and choices are a part of it, and needs is huge. So again, recap, resentment and needs are huge. The 6 basic human fundamental needs by Tony Robbins. There's certainty, uncertainty, love and connection, growth, contribution, and significance. And then you also have resentment. When you don't get those needs met in some form or fashion, you're going to start to sabotage or subconsciously find ways to do it in a way that's not as adequate, which can actually help bring down your whole mood. So guys, I really appreciate if you like this, please put in the comments you want to know more about it. Again, whoever's coming back, I appreciate the YouTube family. I appreciate you coming by, and look forward to seeing more content. But this is really fundamental. And if things don't make sense to this video, if it doesn't make sense, I need to do it again. but I really want to make sure that this drives home, because resentment is important, and resentment comes from needs, and that can really just be causing havoc in your life. Again, the only way you can really change your subconscious is by actually using your conscious mind to look at your subconscious and change habits little by little. Again, it's 50 to 200 bits per minute, bits per second versus 20 million bits per second. So it may take a while. That's that personal growth, but it takes time. So understanding needs, huge, 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 huge. Understanding what can cause resentment, huge, 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 huge. Again, I appreciate it. Like, subscribe if you like the content. I want to continue making more of these things, but appreciate your time. Appreciate you here. And as I end these contents and these videos, if you have kids, please slow down and love them. And you know what? And give them a hug for me. They need it. Till next time, guys.